This video is about like a day in the life kind of video. So a day in the life of a teacher working in China. So I'm in Nanjing. As you can see, it's some melting snow around me, which is really rare. There was about half a foot of snow, about 15 centimeters of snow night before last. And I don't think they've seen it here in about 5 or 6 years. So anyway, my fingers are freezing, but what I'm about to tell you is we're going to cover what work is really like here, cost of living and lifestyle. We can talk about visas and barriers to entry and anything like that. So if you've ever thought about coming to teach in China and what it entails and what it's like, what it's really like, then you're in the right spot, and this video is for you. So what I will talk about right now to get started is cost of living. So I'm actually walking to work right now, and I'm actually running a little bit late, so it's a bit distracting. I was messing around with this camera. So my rent in Nanjing is 2,300 a month, 2,300 yuan a month. And what that gives me is 3 rooms. It's pretty big. It's about 100 meters squared, if you know what that is. I don't know if I mentioned that I'm Australian, so I'm not too sure about feet that much for area. But it is what it is. I wouldn't say it's too glamorous, but it's not ghetto either. It's just, let's say, getting a little tired and warm. But it probably works out to about maybe 350, 330 USD a month. You'd have to sort of check. I think it comes to around 500 Australian a month, which is really, really, really cheap. So that kind of works out well. I've got my wife here. She's from Indonesia. We've got a really naughty 9-month-old cat, and I have a gym room and a music room. It's sort of like a third room. So one room's our office that we share. The other room is, like I said, a little bit of storage. I bought my own little gym, and there's a piano and a guitar and things in there. And of course there's a bedroom. So that's all pretty good. And as you can see, I don't know if you just noticed, but I've just walked into my school now. I might just flip this camera for a bit. So as we'll approach, there'll be a playground on my right. There's basketball courts on the left. But the biggest snowball fight I've ever seen happened here recently. So I was just looking, I thought they made a snowman. Anyway, it was pretty epic. I might upload that footage later. So now coming to school, it's actually pretty convenient for me. I just walk. So I'm right down the end of this path that you're looking at now. I'll flip it back. And so it's pretty convenient, so I don't need to worry about transport. But otherwise, transport's pretty simple, just depending on where you are. So that's probably all I need to cover for this walk, because my fingertips are literally freezing. I'm from Queensland and Australia. We don't even get snow. So this is pretty novel. So it's a little bit hard to think, and I know that I'm slightly late. When I walk back later, I've just got 2 lessons now. I'll go over a few other things. So I'm going to put my hands back in my pockets, and I'll see you later. IELTS speaking test about food and health for grade 12, January 2026. Okay, so I'm back. I'm walking back home now. So I'll just let you know a little bit about my schedule, just quickly, so you know what's going on. So when I was walking before, it was about 20 past 9, 9:30, as my class started at 9:35. It's now about a quarter past 11, so each lesson's 40 minutes. There's a 10-minute break between. So this is a lunch break. It's a Wednesday in January, so it's the 21st of January. So today I don't go back until 2:30 p.m. So it's around about a 3-hour break. On Mondays I get a 5-hour break, but I'll talk a little bit more about that later. So I was talking about rent before. So the way it normally works with getting food here, whether it be delivery, eating out, or groceries. Let's start with groceries. You'll probably find that it's about half the price of what you get back home, especially with vegetables. They're really, really cheap. The one thing that might cost more or about the same is dairy. So if you've got a really big cheese fetish or you want fresh milk, it might be a little bit frustrating for you. You can get it, it's just that it's imported and taxed. So, Australia, New Zealand, Europe, for all your fancy cheeses and stuff like that. So, but yeah, everything else is really, really cheap. A dozen eggs, about US dollars, about $1. I've actually got a lot of videos about that, with the eggs and eating out and things like that. So you can, hi guys. So you can check the short videos I have with those. Let's see. We talked about convenience. There's also transport, subway, buses. I've mentioned that in other short videos as well. But yeah, you can just use your phone for everything. That's the main thing to know. Is I haven't used a wallet since 2024. I don't even know where I have it. I think it's in a drawer somewhere, because everything's on your phone. It's pretty much cashless. In some places you can't even use cash. There's a Burger King near my place. They don't accept cash. So you got to scan a code and use Alipay or WeChat. Anyway, I won't go into detail with that. I've already done videos, short form videos about that. And you'll see that there is a guidebook that I've nearly finished making. By the time you see this video, it's probably a link in the description. I'm thinking about jaywalking here, but I'll flip the camera around. I'm just at an intersection near where I live. The snow's mostly melted now. It's a little warmer today. All right. Got a green arrow. All right. So, yeah. And eating out, pretty cheap. Of course, it just depends on what you're going to eat, right? And I've also done a video about eating in a restaurant before. So it's a lot cheaper, the cost of living, whether it be rent, groceries, eating out, deliveries, which is another video as well, Meituan, which is delivery apps. What about utilities? Also really, really cheap. Water's so cheap. Gas, we have gas here. I think I've only paid it once in a year and a half since I've been here. It's like negligible, and we do pretty much home cooking every day, for at least one meal anyway. Electricity is only about 20 USD in the summer, a little bit more in the winter, because they don't have radiators. In this part of China, it normally doesn't get this cold, or at least they don't think it's worthy of getting radiators, because the way it works with the radiators is it's run by the local government, and they turn it on and off when they decide. It's not like your building owner or something. Anyway, I don't have radiators in Queensland, Australia either. It's all just electric heaters. So that's what we've got here. So it probably comes up to about maybe 40 USD. So you got a really good cost of living. So now with my schedule, as I was talking about earlier, yeah, I do 2 lessons in the morning, 2 lessons in the afternoon, 12 in total a week, and it's just Monday to Wednesday. So I can go home now, and I'm nearly there. have a really big break. I only worked for about an hour and a half, and go back in and do it again. I could get like one of these rental bikes they have around here, but like it's only like a 15-minute walk, and you know, get some steps in, and it's a bit healthier, and why not? So it's a really, really good schedule. So I'll be finished by 4 p.m. today. Now, what I'll do later is I'm gonna end this video here, and then I'll start talking about pay, conditions, what the work I actually do is like, and how you could, what you need if you want to come and work here. So, chat in a sec. All right, where was I? So, yeah, I get a lot of free time, so it gives me a lot more time to work on other projects, or you know, if it was you, to do whatever you like. You can learn Chinese. I still don't really speak great Chinese. I'm going to start looking into doing HSK1 on the holidays, which is something I should probably tell you about. So it's Wednesday right now, as I mentioned. Hold on, I'll just get past this car. I don't know how loud it is in the mic. So I'm walking back now. It's about 2:15 for my 2:30 till 4 p.m. 2 lessons with grade 11B and grade 10. And then I'm done for the week, right? Until Monday. And then on Monday, it's my last day, which is ironic, being a Australia Day, but it's no public holiday here. And then there'll be 5 weeks off. So talking about free time, that's the winter holidays, right? So Chinese New Year is the 17th of February this year. So I'll get about 5 weeks off, and it's fully paid. So it's one great thing about being a teacher, and especially in China, they have pretty long holidays. This is my second year at this school, so on the summer holidays, which was about 10 weeks, I was paid for about half the summer holidays, so just had to keep some money back. So now what I guess I should talk about is pay. Hold on, just got a few obstacles here. All right. So, pay. So I get paid for doing that, which only adds up to about 8 hours a week. My planning, I usually get the main bulk of it done in the big holiday periods, and I just cycle around different lesson plans through each month. So I really only need about an hour or two a week to sort of check things out. So my pay is actually about 21,000 renminbi. It works out to, give or take a little, because the tax will come out, and it's usually only like about 1% or 1.5%. Tax is really low here. And so 21,000 yuan. That works out to almost, check out this thing, will you? Behind me, this tricycle. It works out to almost 5,000 AUD a month. So something like 1,100 to 1,200 AUD a week. So after rent, I don't know. It works out to about 900 AUD a week after the rent. So I don't know, what's that? About 600 USD a week left over after rent, after tax. You pay your groceries, utilities, 2 people. You probably still got about 500 USD left every week. So it's better than a kick in the... you know what I mean. I can hear the bell already, so I'm almost late again, and I'm not even at the school. So that's the 10-minute warning bell. So in 10 minutes, I'll actually be in class and I'm still on the street. I can hear it in the distance. So yeah, it's, you're not going to get real rich on it, but you can save a lot because the cost of living is just so amazing here. And there's plenty of chances to travel because of the holidays and the breaks. So with 4 days off, it's technically 5 if you think of it. If you finish on Wednesday and then you start back on Monday, it's more like 4.5 days. So you could jump on a bullet train and go anywhere you like. Let's see. How about how about we talk about what it's like to how to get a job here? Well, that's what. Hang on, I'm just going to do some jaywalking. Hold on. How to actually get work here. So it changes a lot. I don't want to get into specifics of visas because it could get me in trouble or something, because it's just going to change a lot. I've been coming to China since 2006, on and off. I had a business and in between those periods. So this is like my 5th teaching year. So I'm kind of experienced, but when I came back, it had completely changed because, cash is almost gone and it's a bit of a different country when I left in 2015. So what I can tell you now, unlike in the beginning, was you would need a degree. I think there are ways around it. I've heard stories, but let's just say, as a rule of thumb, you're going to need a degree. What do you need a degree in? You can have a degree in anything, as long as it's from an accredited university. It can be an online degree. Mine was online. I actually studied while I was traveling and doing other things with my business. I got a degree way later in life. So apart from that, you'll need a TESOL or TEFL certificate, which you can go and get in usually a city near you. It takes about a week or 4 weeks if it's a CELTA, CELTA. So you can check all that out yourself. But if you've just graduated, it's pretty easy to get, and you want to go and have an adventure and do something else, save some money, learn a language, it'll look great in your resume. So that's actually what I'm actually trying to start with, a Discord community and uteacher.org. It's actually going to be a job board where employers will be vetted. Because in the past there used to be scams, and the old job boards just had really clunky UI. It was really difficult to navigate and to find just simple filters like pay and tax, or is it kindergarten, or is it that? Actually, that might lead me on to the next thing, the type of work. So I'm at an international department teaching grade 10 to 12, so high school, but inside the larger school, as you can sort of see there as I panned over. Now that's sort of like the pay's going to be in the middle. The irony is, if you want to teach university or something, they tend to pay the lowest, and kindergarten. So if you want to make lessons about, heads and shoulders, knees and toes, throw a little ball around with some little kids, point to the color blue, make them say blue, paint, then they throw it to someone and point to red, pretty easy stuff, sing a song, and they get paid a lot more, like 30,000 or more. Now what I'm teaching here is IELTS speaking, so that's the International English Language Testing System, and so they're preparing to go to Western universities to study. Australia, New Zealand, Canada, UK, and the United States, of course. So to get into those universities, they have to have some sort of basic English language competence. There's another one called TOEFL, which I used to teach before, and that's much more aligned to the United States, but IELTS is pretty big. So these kids have aspirations of, going overseas and doing their degree there, so they need to get at least a 6.5 for most universities in Australia anyway, for a bachelor's degree. So that's a specialisation. So if you can teach math or physics or drama or something else like that, even business. I have a business degree, I just didn't see a job that I wanted at that time, so you can actually get a little bit higher pay as well. Alright, I'm coming into the building. I'll see you later, but for you it'll only be, there won't be any loss of time at all, will there? Alright, so it's about 4:05. I've just packed up everything back into my backpack here, and I'm walking home now, so I'm done for the day. So that's about 6,700 steps for me. One thing earlier, I don't know what future me will do when I'm editing this, but if I did shoot a few seconds in grade 12 this morning, because it was the backs of their heads, so that should be totally okay with YouTube's policies. Just so you could sort of see what a classroom looks like if you didn't know. And if you did see that, you may be wondering why there was only 4 students. There used to be about 20, but what happens is coming into the holidays, as I said, a lot of them have other exams. These students are doing like A-level program, which I think is like a UK type program. I won't go into the details, but what usually happens is they're allowed to stay at home and study for that. And I've already tested the other students, and so those were the ones that were left from the other day. So it was a pretty laid back, if you're doing high schools at least, probably universities too, when you're coming up to like big holiday periods, like the end of a semester or the end of the entire school year. So I just wanted to mention that. Also, now, I was just talking about like qualifications to come, minimum degree and a TESOL certificate. Experience helps. It just might help you get, negotiate better pay or better position. But if you don't have any, it's not a big problem. There's lots of jobs around, and hopefully by the time I've shared this, you'll be able to look on the job board about that. And then also, hang on, I can see a couple of students I know here. Hello, girls. How are you doing? Hey, I haven't seen you guys in ages. Yeah. All right, have fun. You're doing a test today, are you? Okay. All right, see ya. Oh, hey, guys. Jay, you're alive. What happened to your speaking test? I'll see you Monday, hey? Okay, so where was I? I'll flip the camera back. Sorry if I've got like sunglasses on. I just forgot this morning, and right now, if I was to take them off, the sun's right there. I'm not even going to be able to open my eyes at all. So that's what I'm supposed to be doing. So where was I? On uteacher.org. Hopefully it'll be up and running by the time this video goes up, and you'll be able to look around and see jobs from all different schools, from all different platforms. So basically it's like a hub for every other major job board that exists in one spot, and later we'll transition to having these jobs natively on our site, but then vetted so that we know that there's some sort of resume harvesting and other things that you might hear about. And that's why I'm trying to build a community first, for teachers, by teachers, so that we can discuss these things and look out for one another. And when I touched on the visa issues earlier, well, that's the spot where that's the place to do it. That's the place to discuss that, the ever-changing visa situation. I will just say it used to be easier, but now you will have to get, there was a lot of fake degrees and things like that. You'll need to get that apostilled, So you'll have to contact your university and, to show that it's authentic. And then whatever government agency you have where you're from, whether Canada, United States, Australia, New Zealand, UK, Ireland, South Africa, whatever, that will authenticate that for you. And just trying not to get run over by a bus or something, or this bike right here. Okay, I should flip my camera around a minute. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a hassle, but it's a step-by-step procedure, and the school will help you. The school, if they've done it before, they'll know what they're doing, but, it's their country, their stuff. They help you out with all that. Some of them will pay your costs. Some of them, they'll pay your flight. Actually, most of them will pay your flight. I might just walk down this way. It's a little bit nicer and out of the traffic on the sidewalk here. Yeah, a lot of them will, they'll reimburse you for your flight once you have done at least 1 year contract. The contracts are usually a year. If you stay on another year, they might sort of, like what they did with me is, it's in the contract, is they'll pay a whole month's pay to stay through the summer. And there's also a chance that your pay might increase. You might get a rise. So you might get a raise. I've been teaching English all day and I can barely think. It's a sort of, I'm not used to walking and talking like this, and cold fingers and trying to remember there's such a big subject. There's so many things to discuss. Trying to do it in logical order here. I'll flip the camera back. So, yeah, and the other thing that a lot of people might wonder is, but I don't speak Chinese. How can I teach? Well, you don't have to speak Chinese. You don't need any Chinese. I think I did mention this morning, but yeah, in fact, I remember I had some contracts before where they said they don't want you to speak Chinese in the classroom because it's English immersion. So that's the other thing. As for like navigating your daily life, well, once again, I'd refer you to some of the short videos I've already published where you don't need that. You've got translators, you've got everything you need to navigate daily life. It's fine. And there's all kinds of different groups you'll find on WeChat. There's internations, and in time I'll set my own up for cities around this country where other expats, especially teachers, can get together and hang out. So I framed this as like the type of video, it's like a day in the life, but actually all you've seen is me walk to and from the school a couple of times. I'm not planning to go out tonight and hit the town on a Wednesday night, even though I have no more work until Monday. But as you can imagine, it's like maybe 4:15, 18 past 4, and you can do whatever you want. In the past, I used to meet up with our friends and we'd go and play pool. That's actually one thing that's a bit unique about this particular position I have, is that there are no other foreign teachers. In fact, I'm the only foreigner in this whole district of Puko. So it's a little unusual. Now, you might not like that. That's fine. Every job is different here. I'm not just talking about if it's kindergarten or not. Even every public school or international school, high school, middle school job you get, they're all going to be really different. Obviously, the city, but even from school to school, position to position, location to location, schedule to schedule. So that's why I think there needs to be a better job board where all these filters can, play out, and you can really fine-tune what you're looking for. If you want more money, then you can do more hours. If you want extra time to, learn how to play the drums or something, you can do it. Or travel, or learn language, or, learn Kung Fu. Oh yeah, by the way, don't expect everybody here to be like Bruce Lee or anything. It's just not happening. I was pretty young and I thought that's how it was, but they're more likely to see kids running around in taekwondo gis or something than Wing Chun or something like that. I'm just in the park where I live in my community at the moment because I just want to wrap up. But yeah, I guess that's about it. I've covered the job, what you require. As for the visa stuff, once again, I'll refer you to the Discord and you can chat to people about that. But yeah, you'll need a degree and you just need to get it all apostled. It has to be checked. But yeah, living here, it's not for everyone, but it's way easier than you think. You can get decent money, save money, cost of living's epic, people are friendly. I guess safety. You got kids running around in this park here, it's cameras everywhere. It's, which I know can sometimes freak some people out like they're being monitored, but it's actually for our own safety. So, hello. So, yeah, you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, it's not bad. I'm just not used to the cold weather. So once again, check out that guide. You can get it in Discord. There'll be links below, and we can look at and say hi. And any questions you have, me or someone in the community will help you out. And if there's anything else I missed, I'll just write it in the description because my mind's pretty blank right now. So yeah, over and out, and have a good one. And I hope to see you here. Otherwise, I'll see you in Discord. Cheers.